as you think about production building, there's a lot of aspects to it: the product definition, the sale of the home, the scheduling, the follow-up service and warranty, and all through that workflow and all through that process, there is accounting financial data that's being generated and queued up. And we built out the integration between hyphen Homefront and Sage Intacct Construction. And that is basically what Daryl and I are going to share with you right now. Daryl, over to you.
So what I thought I would do is within the Homefront system is where we manage all of the additional information that's being built upon that we're going to be transferring into Sage Intacct as well. And a lot of the information that is built upon, it really starts with the sale of a home. So in our sales module, we have the ability to capture and do a lot of marketing type things as well. We can capture leads and contacts. And when those contacts become more interested to the point where you're ready to start putting together some quotes for them, they become an opportunity. And when somebody's at a point where we're ready to put a quote together, so this particular individual has expressed an interest in the Coyote Ridge subdivision, and there's different styles of quotes. So we may have spec homes that we've already got under construction that we have available for sale, so we can build a quote based upon that. Or maybe it's a pre-sale scenario where you have available lots, and within those lots you have different floor plans you can choose from. So we're going to go ahead and select that particular one. So in this particular community, I have a number of different lots, and as I hover over the pins, the colors represent the status of the lot. Some are available, some are already sold. The ones in green are the ones that are available. And in this particular case, let's say this particular person was interested in lot 38. So I'm going to go ahead and select that particular lot, and you can see that it indicates a little house image there. And then it populates that information over here. And then from within that, I can further describe that, so I can come back to it. Oops. I can also go ahead and say, what floor plan would I like to choose and place on this particular community? And when I go and select the home, I can filter it on price, bedrooms, baths, square footages. I can have an image gallery associated with each of my floor plans as well. So if you want to showcase some of your features of your plans, you can do that, and then things of that nature. And oftentimes what happens is people, in addition to choosing their plans, they also want to add options to the home as well. So you can create an option library, you can categorize them, you can look for things, either keyword searches, or you can organize it in a way that makes the most sense to you. You can select the home or the option saying that you want to pick that option. You can also choose the location within the home where you're placing it. Maybe you want to add any extra comments. If the option had, this isn't one of them, but if the option had, say, color references and things like that, you can identify that. And they can select that. And it's basically tallying up and building up that quote as we go along. And in addition to that, if for some reason somebody has requested something, and the estimating team can go ahead and price out that custom option and submit that price back. So you get that back and forth communication happening between the sales office and the back office side as well. A variety of different documents are produced in here, of course. So the ability to produce a summary document that the different selections that have been made, the total recap of the total price of the home is listed there. And then, of course, being able to produce the contract document itself. And we do it in such a way that the information is merged into the document so that we're not reliant on anybody to manually input anything. And then we can send that through to DocuSign. And typically what happens is a sales agent will go through from a proposal, and they'll move it to a pending sale. And when they reach that point, they may also have additional information that they're capturing over time. You as a builder can create what we call a selection wizard. And this selection wizard is an alternative or additional way of making selections. So many times people have or want to create a visual flow or roadmap that they want to take their homeowners down in terms of the various selections that they want to take them through. So this can happen at any point through the sales cycle. So let's say you want to identify what sort of countertops or cabinetry or different selections that people need to be able to make. Maybe there's different types of interior finishes that they want to be able to go through. Maybe you have a variety of different cabinet materials they can choose from and different door styles and things like that. You can have that in a visual manner. If you have a design center person who works with the homeowners afterwards, they can use this system as well to capture all that information. So we have a single place to capture all of that, including paint colors and all of that sort of thing. So let's say that we know the kind of colors they want to choose on their walls, the type of trim color they want to be able to select, and that sort of thing as well. So they can capture all of that. And then we can have them go through and prepare a selection sheet document that we want them to be able to sign off on. So we can capture all of that information as well. So we can have that information gathered. If you have the imagery associated with that, that can all be displayed as well. And when a sales agent moves this quote beyond proposal to contract, the sales manager reviews that. And for the sake of today, I logged in as an administrator, so I can show a couple of the manager would often do. And one of those is before they ratify a contract, they want to do a margin analysis. So they can present the information, see what everything looks like, the costs are displayed, the expected margins are viewed, and all of that sort of thing. Again, a sales agent wouldn't be doing this, but a sales manager likely. And they'll be the ones to convert this to a contract. When they convert it to contract, that's the point in time that this information is going to be communicated back to estimating so we can go ahead and put together a budget. So that information's communicated essentially to the back office. And in the back office view of the system, they have an area we refer to it as their inbox. So anything that's newly released from sales starts to come in. So you'll notice my inbox just ticked up there. And if I select that lot 38 that we just sold, you're going to notice that that particular lot, and if I choose that, it's going to go through and retrieve all the selections that were made from sales and put together my preliminary budget. And I'd also like to have that over in Sage, so I'm going to go ahead and post that budget over to Sage. While it's doing that, it's communicating all of the details pertaining to the job along with the customer information and all that sort of thing. And everything that we've gathered from the budget standpoint is also useful from the standpoint of being able to prepare those purchase orders and subcontracts as well. When we're at that point where we've created a budget, we've issued POs and so on, we're also at a point where we also want to create the schedule for the job as well. So I'm going to go ahead and, so I'm going to toggle over to the purchasing view of the job. And many times, a lot of our clients will issue POs all at once. But prior to that, because you see I've got a budget value and I haven't committed to anything yet. And let's say, for example, by the time I've created my estimate and the time I'm getting ready to award the work, my preferred vendors are the ones that are being retrieved here. So you can establish a set of preferred vendors by neighborhood, by scope of work. Do that. And at the same time, I'm also going to identify, we've got a variety of different scheduling templates. So many times people have different templates that pertain to different types of floor plans that they work with. So I'll choose the template that best represents what I need for this this particular home. And when do I expect the initial start date to be? So I'm just going to put in next week for example's sake. And as part of that, I'm going to go ahead and say I want to release my first list of purchase orders, which includes all of these, and I'm going to go ahead and generate those. It will warn me if someone's insurance is expired, however, so I can have an opportunity to stop, resolve the issue. All of that information is being managed and communicated within here as well. But I'm going to go ahead here and proceed. It'll also warn me for any instances where I'm over budget, and that information is going to be communicated and visible, of course, in a variety of different reports as well. So as we go ahead and create these POs, it's doing a variety of things. Number one is preparing it so that it can be sent over to Intacct, and it's also communicating it to our field scheduling system as well. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and send those purchase orders over to Sage. So this particular job, again, lot 38 is the one we're working on. And I'm going to send all of those POs and subcontracts over to Sage. Because we also sent this information over to our scheduling system, in this system here is where we can start to see, this is from the standpoint of what our site superintendents, the people who are running the jobs, can see in our Build Pro scheduling system. So when I logged in, I may have a number of jobs that are assigned to me, and I can go into my active job list. I can see my 7-day outlook on my calendar, and this, you can see this job CR38 is the one that we just created today. And I can go in and view that schedule and see the details of that particular job based upon all the variety of tasks that I've created as part of my template. The trade names listed there and the purchase order that I've issued to them is also listed there as well. So it's giving me that information from the back office side of things to not just to accounting, but also to the site construction as well. When you indicate a task is starting, that communicates that to the trade directly, and they have visibility to that through our Supply Pro portal as well. When the tasks are completed, which is when the work is done, I would just indicate the work is done, the task is complete, and I can update that schedule and also go through and have that information, because it's a completed task, and those tasks are connected to purchasing, it's also going to have that information communicated to the back office side of things. So we can then see how that information is viewed over in that side of the system as well. So now if I go into my approved invoices section here, I can see that I've had 2 purchase orders come in. They're indicated they were site approved on this date, and here's the job. The invoice number essentially is the PO number, but the full job distribution is listed below and all of that information there. So the PO and invoice matching takes place, and from there I can go ahead and say, yep, everything looks good. I'd like to go ahead and post that over to Sage. And that information then now goes over to Intacct, where that invoice is now reconciled against that particular purchase order. So all that information is being flowed